Heads up, this video is about a private early beta alpha build thingy of Dead Cells, so everything is subject to change and we may check this game out again later on. Alright, cool. Once again, I find myself presented with an example of a game that has pretty much everything I enjoy wrapped up in one kick-ass addicting package. Motion Twin's Dead Cells is just everything that I like. It's a metroidVania, it's a roguelite, it's got intense and responsive combat, a whole lot of secrets, items with chances of special effects, great graphics, and it's fun and rewarding as f. A self-described Roguelvania, Dead Cells puts you through set zones with procedurally generated layouts, though each area has a few set pieces that are always included. Things like a room with an extra life inside of it, shops and treasure rooms are almost always inside the first zone that you play through, while the enemy arrangements are almost always different. Gameplay and combat are fairly standard for modern action games, I think, but they're done really damn well. Each weapon has its own benefits, and they're all different in ways that modify how you play. First, you got melee weapons like swords and daggers, and then there are ranged weapons like bows and spells, and then there are shields. Each different variety switches up how you play, and you can mix and match weapons between two available slots that you have. Personally, I feel like spells should go into the slots that usable items go into, but I think I understand why they take up a weapon slot instead. It just takes some getting used to. Usable items can stun or poison enemies, weapons can cause bleed, shields can shoot arrows as you block, and those are just some examples. I've actually found each of those abilities and more on all the kinds of equipment that you can have. Enemy variety is pretty okay so far. There are about 4 or 5 types of enemy that I've seen, but you have to handle them each differently. And when they're put together, it really mixes up how you need to think and how careful you need to be. I do hope that there's a greater variety as the game develops, and I really want to see the bosses that exist in this game. I just hope that they keep in mind that enemy variety is really important so that it doesn't get just boring and grindy as you play through the same areas over and over and improve. My only real complaint about Dead Cells is that in the second zone, the difficulty ramps up an insane amount, and it's really just by adding a shitload more enemies. I haven't been able to actually make it past the second zone because every time I get to that zone, it seems like I get to this point where there are just too many damn enemies for me to handle. I think the difficulty could be handled better, and I hope it gets tweaked. Something I've noticed in the few days that I've been playing Dead Cells is that it updates pretty regularly, at least right now. Being an early access game, this is really important. I've already noticed some improvements between the first day I played it and now, even if it's just little things like cursed chests having a masochistic personality. I think Motion Twin has the right idea with what they're doing here and where they're going, and I think procedural generation is being done really well in Dead Cells. Well, it's not out on Steam yet. The release is slated for sometime this year. I feel like there might be an early access version released, but I don't know that for a fact, so who knows? If you're into roguelites, metroidvanias, and great combat, then toss this one onto your watch list. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Indie Bytes. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe for more stuff like this. Be sure to check out the other content that we put out on this channel, and remember to drop me a line here on Twitter or through email with any game recommendations that you've got. You can find all that stuff down in the description below. I'll see you next time. Bye!